Previously, we discussed on how surveys help us validate business ideas and how I managed to create my own surveys to validate my own ideas. I'll just put over the results of that surveys right here. And thankfully, we had a couple of responses, and by a couple, I mean 4 responses. So the way I thought of it was, as long as it was not 0, it is a win for me. So these are the results of those surveys, and thank you to all those people who sent it out. So once we validated the idea, which was majorly positive, the my thought process was this even possible? So today what I'll do is I'll just show you how I was able to build the bare bone backend of this project, that allows me to start communicating with YouTube APIs, or rather to update particular parts of the YouTube videos, such as the thumbnail, title, and description. I'll just go over my thought process on how I was able to get there. So let's get started. The first thing which I did was I just searched in Google YouTube API, because Google is a parent company of YouTube. So this is the term which I searched for, and I went over the first link of the results. So in that, I went here. I was just exploring to find the thing which is required for me. And in here, after briefly going over the documentation, I went to this video section, and this took a couple of minutes. I would say like around 45 minutes to an hour, just to find the particular thing which I was interested in, which was the thumbnails. So after going over this, I managed to find the endpoint which I was interested in, which was this: upload a custom thumbnail image and set it for a video. And in here, I went here, thumbnail set, and I just went over this documentation in detail. Saw what were the scopes which was required, which is right here, because when there is these scopes tend to get a bit annoying, because then it starts throwing errors and all. And Google has a very good documentation in what particular status code it sends for what error they have. So I just went over the scopes which is required, and the payload, which is the video ID that identifies a particular video. I'll show you how what this video ID exactly is. So once that was done, once I was able to find this API, now we need to subscribe to this API. So for that, what I did was I just went to Google Cloud here, went to APIs and services, and in here went to libraries, and I just searched in YouTube. So in here, I just went to YouTube, and you get a couple of results. What we were interested in is in the first one. Just based on the description, it says we are able to access YouTube data such as the videos, which I am interested in. Went here, enable this, got the credentials like the API key, API secret, etc. And I just store that in my env file in the backend. Now let us quickly go over the code base, which is this right here. So we have 3 mini projects in this mono repo. So we have the Express backend, the image generating model, and the next frontend. This second one I'm still working on, and it'll be for the later on videos, because I'm currently working on it and trying to find out the best model that I can use. So let's go over the front end quickly, because it's very small. So this is all the front end does. Is basically just a button that calls a function that hits a particular endpoint for authentication in the backend through Google. So let me just show it to you real quick. This is it. We make a API request to our backend that gives us the URL to this particular page. And now if I hit the account that is associated with the Google console that subscribed to that particular API, we get this. Now see, if you can see here, we are asking for access to manage your YouTube account. And in here, if I see view and manage your videos and playlist, view and manage your YouTube activity, including posting public comments. So these are the access that I want. So once that's done, I'll just hit allow, and this redirects me to this welcome to dashboard page. So in here, what is happening is, so the front end just redirected, and on that successful authentication, it just redirected to this particular page. And what Google did was it gave us this particular code. So what we are doing is we are exchanging this code to get the access key and the refresh token. So let me go over the backend, which is of interest for this particular video, because that is where the most of the magic happens. So right here, so the front end calls this particular path. This path generates the URL, and the URL now calls again this particular path. After calling this path, we have the code, which is this right here. Once we have the code, we get the credentials, which is like the access token, refresh token. We generate a OAuth client that now we can use to hit or update that YouTube video. Now this is that endpoint. I'll hit this and show, but these are the payload now: video ID, title, description we get from the body, and then we get in the YouTube object. We given the OAuth client, which we just set the credentials of, so that we now know that the user is valid. So once that is done, I hit another endpoint to get a category ID basically. So here, so this is required when you're updating title and description. So this particular part now updates the title, description, and once we've done that, we update the thumbnail. So we get the image file from the path, we give the video ID again, give the thumbnail as a stream to this particular endpoint, and once everything is done, we just print title, description, and thumbnails updated successfully, and there is some error handling right here. So that's the backend. Again, it's very bare bones. So now let me try hitting that endpoint, which is update YT video. So before that, let me just show you how this is my YouTube studio. This is the title. This is the, let me just click on this. This is the thumbnail, title, description. So, and now through Postman, let us update it. So this takes in an image file, which I've given AI image, PNG, JPG, video ID. So the video ID is basically this. So any videos in YouTube, if you go to this particular video, this is the video ID for this particular video, this particular part. So yeah, this particular part. So that's what I put in. So for this, you could also get it from here as well. This is the video ID. So once that is done, I got the video ID. I'll probably have some regex check. So in the front end, I'll ask the user for a link, and from that I'll extract this video ID. I give the title AI generated image updated by Postman. Now if I hit this endpoint, if everything goes well, you can see title, description, and thumbnail updated successfully. Now let us go back here. Let me refresh this, and you can see we have that image which I sent, and the title which I sent through Postman, and the description. So this is what I managed to build. The main point of this was again to connect the dots and to get that dopamine hit of making some kind of progress at least. So I was able to now connect the front end, back end, and the Google API, or YouTube API rather. So all of this connection is made. Now my next objective is to bring in the AI model. So now the AI model has to generate the image, the title, the description. So that's it for this video. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.